Thank you everyone for coming to Damp Chanel's World, where we do soap opera reviews. Thank you for coming back for another episode of The Young and the Restless that aired on September 13th, 2016. The summary that they give us today is Phyllis commits to saving her marriage, Colin schemes to learn Jill's secret, and Chloe shows her true colors. We go on into that first scene. We have Nicholas comes by to see Chelsea, but Chloe tells Nicholas Chelsea is at the studio designing. Chelsea is remembering the blast when Sharon comes in and interrupts her thoughts. Sharon goes over to see what Chelsea is drawing or what she had drawn, and it's a mess of a drawing. Okay, she says she can't get the lapel right on the dress or the coat dress or whatever she's designing, but like I said, it just looked like a hot mess. She's what do you call it? She's basically trying to feel her grief with working, and it's not working. Okay. Then we have Colin is trying to snuggle with Jill when Jill is ready to go back to work. Billy come in and see them snuggling together. Jill tells Billy she lied about the heart attack. Okay. It was only heartburn. And of course, Billy looking at her like she crazy. But anyway, we go to Jack and Phyllis. They are at the counselor's office getting some therapy, some medical help for themselves and their marriage. We go to commercial. We come back. We have Nicholas is telling Chloe that it's wrong what Chelsea is doing. She should be at home resting and getting her thoughts together about what had just transpired in the last couple of weeks. She needs to be there for her son, make sure he's on an even keel. She should be doing those things, not sitting up there at her company and working, trying to put out designs, okay, and making a deadline. Chloe says everything in the apartment reminds her of Adam. And she goes on and gives examples, but we won't go into that. Chloe is telling Nicholas to let Chelsea grieve in her own way. Chelsea is fussing at Sharon for delaying the new line coming out that she's designed. Sharon is basically saying you just witnessed and had to go through a death. I thought it would be in better taste and your best interest to roll back the coming out of your new line out of respect of what basically has happened in your life just recently. Chelsea ain't had none of that. She's just tearing Sharon butt from limb to limb. And basically she's grieving. And nobody should take Chelsea serious if she goes off on them for any reason, because we know, everybody knows up Chelsea. But Chelsea's going to fall apart sooner rather than later. Okay, then we have Jill. She's explaining to Billy she had a bad heartburn attack. At least that's what Ben is telling her. And she pretty much was going to get around to telling him, but she didn't, and she don't want Colin to tell, so she went on and just exposed herself to Billy. Billy explains Phyllis and him are over. And it's no reason to be talking about them no more. She ended it with him, not the other way around. And Jill is really figuring out that Billy really loves Phyllis. It's not just a whim or anything. He's found a new love interest, just like he loved Victoria at one time. Same thing with Phyllis. So she's feeling some kind of way about butting in and threatening him and threatening Phyllis. Okay, then we go to Phyllis. Phyllis is talking about, excuse me, with the therapist about Jack being fully honest about everything, and she need to be telling the therapist what she done did behind Jack back, and they really deal with their issues. And from it coming from a psychological standpoint, Jack pretty much will have to change his face for Phyllis to pretty much get over a man acting, looking, behaving just like Jack in her bed, and she fell for it. Because that's all it is. Phyllis just trying to save face in a sense of she should have known better that that wasn't her husband, Jack, because of his whole demeanor. And, the other Jack that was faking like Jack, he was kind of rough. And he showed another side. And that wasn't Jack. She should have known something was up right then and there. But, Phyllis being in a slut and the sex probably was much better than what Jack was throwing down. She went with it till she found out different. Now she just embarrassed. It's pretty much what it is. That she fell for the okie doke. But anyway, we leave there, go to commercial. Billy is telling, and come back from commercial. So Billy is telling Gio he wanted to go public with him and Phyllis' relationship, but he says Phyllis told him to don't wait for her. Jill finally realized that Billy loves Phyllis. Chelsea's not taking the news well, what Sharon did. So Chelsea pulls rank and tells Sharon to read her job description again, and she tells Sharon to take off the rest of the day to get some rest. Because it seems like since she's arbitrarily making decisions that she's not in a managerial type position to make, maybe she needs to think about her job and her stability around here at Chelsea 2.0. Because last time Chelsea said she checked, that was her name on the door, her name on the stationaries, her name on her clothes. It had nothing to do with no Sharon, okay? So Sharon got a little pissed off, got her gathered her stuff up, and got the hell on that elevator and rolled on down. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Cause she was right, but Sharon came from a good place. Okay, then we go to Chloe. Chloe comes in to find tension between the two ladies as Sharon is leaving or exiting out the building. She tells Chelsea to blame her for the clothing line getting pushed back, not Sharon. She gave Sharon the okay to do that because of the circumstances going on with Adam's death, the funeral, the grieving period, and all that. Chelsea looks very shocked and like she want to go on and tear into Chloe too. Everybody can get it today. She giving it out free of charge. All right. Chelsea's tearing into Chloe now. She's being completely unreasonable about grieving. Nicholas is at Crimson's Lights and he runs into Sharon and they have a little talk about what Chelsea did to her. Because, pretty much Nicholas was telling Sharon that he's going over there to see Chelsea too. But he ain't coming empty handed. He coming with some coffee, some donuts, and some conversation. But that's just where it is, okay? Then we go to Phyllis. Phyllis meets Summer at the park. They have small talk about Summer getting back into school. Uh, Summer getting over Luca. Summer talks to Phyllis about not giving up on Jack, make her marriage work, because they have a good formula there. But Phyllis ain't being honest. Phyllis been a slut from the valley. Okay, truly, truly, she done met up with Brooke somewhere on the Bold and the Beautiful, and they done got together and they done been teaching each other lessons on how to cheat and get away with it to a certain degree. Okay. Anyway, we go to Jack. Jack comes to Jill, wanted to know about why is Colin coming to him about $1 million proposition. Saying he have information about my wife Phyllis. What's going on with that? What's going on with that, Jill? Why your husband coming sideways at me? He knows something that I should know, and I know you know, because that's where he probably got it from. But Jill is deflected. She said, my husband, he's always trying to con somebody. Don't give your money to him. Definitely don't give him no $1 million. I talk to him. But all of that's false. He don't know shit. Anyway, we go to commercial, we come back. We have Chloe tells Chelsea Nick is also worried about her. Also. Both women talk and they both decide that Chelsea knows what she's doing. She knows what's good for her in the situation. And they're gonna roll like that. Okay, then we have Nicholas says he will talk to Chelsea for her, meaning, he's ending his conversation with Sharon so he can get over there and mess with Chelsea and see what's going on in her life. Then we have Sharon gets a phone call after Nicholas leaves from someone, and she's trying to research it, but she comes up empty handed. Ain't nobody helping her on that end. But who could it be from, y'all? Who? Okay. Then we go to Jill. Jill tells Jack to don't worry and don't give her husband one dime, period. Okay? He's fraudulent at this time. She's going to handle him. Then we go to Colin. Colin comes back from his walk, his power walk, and Jill tells him off from head to toe for trying to get money from her family, which is Jack. She said, my family is off limits to any of your con schemes when it's dealing with money. You cannot store any money from my family. So get it together before I throw your ass out. Okay? So she's pretty much telling him he needs to straighten up that mess with Jack and make Jack believe that he was lying, even though he was telling the truth. But it's still what it is. He can't be pimping out her family for no money. Okay? Okay, then we go to Summer and Phyllis. Talk about Jack. Marriage, death, Luca. She's learning. Phyllis laughs at her. Okay? Billy's at the park. Also, he finds Phyllis and Summer having small talk with one another. And Phyllis looks disturbed that he's there. We go to commercial, we come back. We have Jill. Jill is still fussing at Colin about his larceny issues. Okay, Jill is still trying to break up Travis and Victoria. She's crazy, y'all. She don't have heartburn that she thought was a heart attack. So she needs to slow down before it actually become a heart attack. Then we have Phyllis is trying to hurry Summer away so she can talk with Billy alone. Then we have Chloe comes to Crimson Lights and finds Sharon there. She gives Sharon the good news that Chelsea's okay with her. She took the brunt of the hit and it's okay. Everything's smoothed over. Sharon is relieved. Then we go to Nicholas. Nicholas is over there trying to talk to Chelsea about grieving over Adam. He's telling her to take some time. He wants Chelsea to stop acting like she's not hurting. And of course, Chelsea gets into his behind and sends him on his way. But then she breaks down and starts crying after he leaves. Okay, then we go to Colin. Colin is scamming Jack at the club. He's telling Jack he talked too much. And Jill has put him out of the house. And it's Jack's fault. That's what he's telling Jack, but he lying. But he need to get that shit straight, like Jill said. We go to commercial, we come back. Well, Chelsea's asking Nicholas, what should she be doing with herself? She's being very rude with Nicholas. She tells Nicholas to leave. Nicholas leaves and she starts crying. Okay, that was before I had ended it, but y'all know where I was going with that. Okay. Then we have Sharon and Chloe make a small talk about losing someone. Sharon is kind of looking at her side eye because she don't believe Chloe is trying to rush Chelsea through this grieving period about losing Adam when she didn't take her own advice when she lost Delia. So it is kind of shady. But everybody's seeing Chloe's true colors, especially Nick as well. Then we have Phyllis and Billy making small talk about Phyllis. Tells Billy they're seeing a marriage counselor, her and Jack. Phyllis asked about Jill's health. And of course, Billy tells her it was just heartburn. But he wants to know because he's telling her he wants to kiss her. He ain't forgot about her. He want to get it on. He want to do things, what he want to do, regardless of what Phyllis talking about. But anyway, we go to Jack. Jack goes to visit Colin at his suite at the club. Jack is asking for the truth about Phyllis. Does he truly have information or something to tell him? And, of course, Colin is trying to do what Jill said. Deflect, deflect, deflect. But Jack ain't having it. Jack brings out a black duffel bag. He has brought Colin $1 million of cold, hard, cashable cash. Spendable cash. Okay. Woo! Like a monster. You know what I'm saying? He wants Colin to tell him what, when, where, all the information that he has on his wife, Phyllis. Okay, because he knows it's juicy. Nobody else won't tell him that. It's sad that Jack has to pay somebody to tell him. And $1 million strong. I don't know what's wrong with Jack. Now, he'll pay for information. People try to give him the same information free of charge. He can't accept it. But he's going to accept Colin, which is a petty thief, a felon, a manipulator, a schemer, a scammer. He going to pay somebody like that to give him the truth. Now, I don't know. In my world, I'll take the truth from somebody that's giving it to me free of charge every day, all day. But not sinking a bitch Jack. He got to go pay somebody. It's like a drop in the bucket. That $1 million didn't hurt him. So I guess Jack is in the revenue of $1 zillion. Who knows? But Jack is such a fool. He finna pay Colin off. Well, he did pay Colin off, but he gonna leave with some interesting tea. And I'm here all for it, y'all. I'm here all for it. So that was the Young and the Restless. I'll talk to you all for the next scene that should be airing on the 14th, which is Wednesday. But y'all will probably get it later on during the week because I'm working, guys. But I still love y'all and I'm still looking at my soaps and I will get it to you. Okay, take care. Blessings. Bye-bye.